Again,
all right, I get confused.
not edited.
Is that Dave Rubin or Ben Shapiro? That's Ben
Well,
Shapiro.
first of all, I don't know.
Can you tell me which one that was? Which douchebag?
That was
That was Ben Shapiro.
no, that was Dave Rubin.
Oh,
Not edited.
I know.
All.
I know. He's channeling the Joker because he has nothing else to
Let's
hang
just
his
playing
hat
this
on.
again because
This is fucking hilarious. Oh, look at that.
Come on! Come on! Come on! We got to go!
fucking cat's like, I'm dying here.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
That is never going to get old in my mind.
It's
Hey, everybody,
definitely going to get old in my mind.
welcome back to the show. All right, you want to hear Jamie Raskin fucking go insane?
Yeah.
Because that was a thing.
Oh, do you want to do California versus Florida first?
Oh, yes. Okay. So Gavin Newsom is running ads, or was for a moment running ads in Florida, which I thought was a dope troll. And then John Fetterman is like trolling the fuck out of Dr. Oz, which I find to be fascinating.
Dr. Oz is so fucking funny anyway.
Mm.
Oh my God. Trump and Nugent are his heroes. That is. I couldn't write this shit.
Dude, but okay, so that one ad he put out where he literally said, look, come to California.
Come to
California, man. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, do you have plans for all these people?
But how are they going to afford it?
I don't know. We got a lot of space.
Yeah, but we don't.
We have a lot of jobs.
We have inland, I guess. The coast, no, they can't afford it.
Look, up the coast, speaking of which, in Oregon, there's these openings for what are called resident service providers.
That is hella work.
But it's exactly what Cindy and Tage do.
Yes.
They're paying $24 an hour in Oregon. That's kind of baller money.
They're paying $24 an hour to the caregivers.
Yeah.
In home.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't do.
So how
look
much?
Up Rever Grant.
How much are no? That would be. They would be working in a
I don't know.
An assisted living facility.
One dude was getting paid to take care of his own kid.
Well, that is a thing. That is a thing. If your kid is disabled, you can get money to take care of them.
So yeah.
So
but you're talking about like 80 grand a year.
But $24 an hour
in Oregon.
Not in Oregon. It cannot be an in-home thing because in-home care. If somebody's getting paid $24 an hour, then they're charging.
I would urge
that they're charging.
I would urge
they are charging the person who's being taken care of probably $50 an hour.
And
that's
don't know
not
how that
possible.
Works.
Well, I do because my father had it in home care.
I would urge somebody that's interested in doing such a thing to look into it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's not my jam. I'm just a crab fisherman.
Yes.
Jamie Raskin.
Person, I'm not going to yield, but I'm coming to you right now. Oh. My friend from Texas, Mr. Roy, advances the so-called insurrectionist view of the Second Amendment, that the Second Amendment's purpose is to give the people the right to overthrow or fight our government or fight the police or threaten armed resistance if the government is somehow being unfair or unjust.
No.
This reading is totally, absolutely absurd and flies in the face of the plain text of the Constitution, which in at least 5 different places clearly forbids armed violent resistance to the government. The Republican Guarantee Clause in Article 4, Section 4 provides that the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or the executive against domestic violence.
All right. Well, that's Mr. Raskin. Like, he never is one to mince words.
No, every time something bad goes down, he is the guy they put forward to yell at the Republicans in the House.
Yeah. I like what he was saying.
Well, he's just pulling.
This was put in the Constitution specifically in response to
which the Republicans love to dry hump.
Right. And go ahead. Like, no, it's amazing how few of them this is the thing. We have to assume that they absolutely understand the Constitution and are doing their absolute best to undermine it, or they have no understanding of the Constitution and are just idiots.
I think that's true in some cases, and in the other cases, it's what you said before. Marjorie Taylor Greene has not read the Constitution.
But I mean, like, are they willfully ignorant or just ignorant?
No.
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
There are just ignorant. There are probably some who are willful. I mean, I would argue Marjorie Taylor Greene is willfully ignorant because she doesn't want to read anything. And that's willful.
She's like, I don't know what willfully means.
Call the gazpacho police. This woman is mentally ill.
Fully.
I think that people like Kevin McCarthy are not willfully ignorant.
It's like to be so delusional,
but willfully,
willfully
misleading people.
Get the mansions and cinemas that are just like, oh no, they place themselves perfectly to be obstructive. It's perfect. Like it goes back to like how those cops were like, we don't control the clerk's office. Now it's locked, right? Like they turned him around and he was so busy talking about his rights when he could have made a move and they had a choice to arrest him or not. But he had a right to go through that door. But in the time that it took him to argue about his rights, the sheriff, they said, oh, let's give him the sheriff. He wants the sheriff. The sheriff comes up and they lock the door behind him.
No, they probably locked the door behind him as soon as they saw a black man walking in with a camera.
I don't think so. I think that was a careful, like, again, it was well played on both sides. I feel like the dude could have got the information first without being sort of, like he was looking for
a fight. He was looking for a conflict.
He was looking for a conflict.
He was looking to be obstructed. So back to cinema and Manchin, I think
they're looking to be obstructed.
Well, and they're also being attention whores. It's kind of like every time there's an election, a presidential election, Ohio suddenly becomes relevant.
Yeah, Ohio. Remember JD Vance? Ohio, my mother OD'd on heroin because
Mexicans. That's it.
And then the whole thing about Donald Trump, they're saying like, oh, Donald Trump was right. See, because the guy that raped the 10-year-old that got first they denied the abortion, but now that they realize it's like this Mexican guy that was the raper.
It's not true. I mean, it might have been a Mexican guy, but he's not jumped on that.
Illegal. Oh, if you want, I'll pull that.
Oh, I know. I heard it, but they said that, but it's unproven.
Right, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because that's where they choose to focus.
They were like, it never happened.
And then, it was an illegal alien.
Right. Yeah. At first they were like, this is the Democrats just fear mongering.
So that's their pivot. A 10-year-old girl is raped, gets pregnant, and the attorney general says
that's the Democrats just blowing shit out.
No, they're not.
That's what they did first.
Well, by saying that it was a Mexican who did it, they're acknowledging that it happened.
Right.
And that's the point, is that it happened, and they denied a 10-year-old an abortion.
Plays into the narrative of Donald Trump saying, the Mexicans coming across the border are all rapists. It plays into that narrative.
Yeah, it sure does. But I mean, shit,
That's
they're
what
in
people are talking
Ohio,
about.
and we talked about that
Yeah.
yesterday. But it's about a 10-year-old who got pregnant, and by the way, would be torn in half when she gave birth.
Well, thanks for that visual.
Well, I'm just being real
God.
here.
Ugh.
I didn't even have boobs when I was 10. So she went to Indiana to get an abortion, and now the Indiana abortion provider is suing the Attorney General of Ohio for defamation.
All right. Well, we're going to be back in the next segment. Remember to get your Nothing Yet Live
Pregnancy tests.
Always negative.
Negative pregnancy tests. We're going to mix them in.
You can buy
to the
them
Border
right
Patrol.
at every.
No, we'll give them away. You give them away. You like, share, subscribe. We will send you free
But
pregnancy
you
tests.
can get them at
that
the
are always
11
negative.
mile next to the border. You can get them next to.
Yes, and we plan
We'll have them available at the Flying J's and the.
But we will have them sorted in with the pregnancy
Yes,
tests of the
yes.
authorities. So you will stand a chance of always getting a negative pregnancy
No.
test.
You can just have your own.
No, but I think they might insist on doing their own.
Yeah.
And once you're over the border, you can be as pregnant as you want.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
not that that's a happy thing, but
We get the positive, but the point is that you get to test as soon as possible. What's the time frame?
6 weeks, I believe.
No,
It's-
I
it's
mean,
when
but
the
how long? I thought they had like 2-day tests or 3-day, like 1 week.
no,
Let's
tests
say
are
1 week.
instant. The tests are instant. Oh, you mean, but from
How
when
long? Yes,
I got a positive pregnancy test
at 13.
11 days after conception. You can get them really early now, like 2 weeks before your missed period,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay,
So
there you go. Yeah, guaranteed to be right or wrong.
guaranteed to be negative either way.
They'll just say negative.
There's not going to be any chemical on there. It's just going to be the test strip, and it's always going to be negative.
It's already been peed on. It won't
It's
change.
already been peed on by him.
Yeah, exactly. Negative. Oh God, we'll be back in a moment. I have the J.
I am your Miss Parker, and we're doing Florida Man next, right?
It is getting late.
It is getting late. So actually, will be one Florida Man and one Oklahoma Man.
California, son.
2 skillet handles.
Florida, come on over, you guys.
Yeah, sorry, you got to live in Fresno.
You're gonna
because
be
you can't
fucking
afford it.
drowning anyway.
Look, we're just floating heads because it's so dark.
I know. I like
Especially
it.
me.
It's nice. Here.
The Amazing Colonel presents Abraca Chicken. Introducing
Abraca,
Beyond Fried
California.
Chicken, only
Come here.
KFC. It looks like scrumptious chicken and tastes like scrumptious chicken, but it's not chicken.
These people!
Hey kids, give me every one of your balls.
Yeah.
I am such a
I am your Miss Parker, and this is Nothing Yet Live.